Okay, let's make a new video. As you saw by the title of today's video, I received a new message from the soul, which I received 2 or 3 weeks before the US elections, before Donald Trump winning these elections. And the message was, World War III is about to come to an end. Now, the message was received the usual way I always receive it. It was in a dream. A loud voice simply said this: World War III is about to come to an end. And what we are seeing right now happening in the world is that for the first time in over 3 years, the diplomatic communication is being restored between the US and Russia. So the war, the biggest war that we have right now on the planet, the war in Ukraine between NATO, the collective West, the US and Russia, is probably slowly winding down. There's more, because when the soul said World War III, it doesn't only mean the war in Ukraine, the biggest war, but it also refers to all the wars on the planet. And the 3 biggest, probably the Ukraine, the one in the Middle East between Palestine and Israel, and now, of course, Syria. The one in the Middle East, although it has been reduced and we don't get as much information as we used to, especially on the corporate media, the mainstream media, but this war is still going on. There's still bombing of Palestine, of Lebanon, and now of Syria by Israel. But there are also hopeful signs that this is going to wind down, or is winding down. And of course, we've got Syria, where the recent uptake of violence is slowly slowing down as well. So when the soul, the way I understand it, what it means by World War III, it means the World War III in pieces, because it's in pieces all over the globe, is slowly going to wind down. It's about to come to an end. Now, it's important to say here and stress that regardless of what you feel about this politician or that politician, especially about Donald Trump, for instance, and I know many of you are going to get triggered, because I know there's so much on social media regarding Donald Trump from people that don't like him and even hate him. When the soul is communicating something to you, you have to remain completely impartial. You have to put away all your programming, your agenda, your wishes, what you want, so that you can receive the information that the soul wants and needs for you to communicate to the community. Yeah? So that is very, very important to stress, because like I have shared with you before, the dreams and the information that I have received before, everything has that has been communicated to me has come true. Perhaps one of the bigger examples would be the information I received in 2014 regarding the new world economy, where I was shown a map in front of me, and old men, like a vizier, like a, the archetype of the wise old man, if you like, a holy man, a magician, showed me the map, and he said, and he showed me that on the map that the new world economy is going to be led by China and Russia. And then, of course, we've got BRICS. So BRICS, we've got Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That's the original structure of the BRICS. And now we've got many more countries, 8 or 9 countries official joining the BRICS, and many more that are waiting, that have become partners of BRICS, but not officially full-time BRICS members. We've got huge countries like Indonesia joining. We've got the Arab countries. We've got most of the South, most of the collective South countries, lots of African countries joining. So this is it. This is the future of world economy, which means that the Western dominance of the world economy, which has been in place for nearly 500 years, and that dominance of the world economy is colonial style. That is to say, Western European countries used to be colonizers all over the globe, and they would abuse, they would steal. I spoke about this before. They would rob countries of their natural resources and wealth. And that's how the Western countries, the West European countries, England and even US, because you talk about slaves and so on, we can talk about all that. That's how they got enriched. That's why the living standards are higher. Not so much on their own merit, but what they took from all these African and Asian countries. Yeah? So this is coming to an end. So this kind of hegemony of one people over other, the West European white style of governance and economy is coming to an end. The colonized type of economy is coming to an end, and there's something new is being born in the idea of BRICS, where countries don't fight to try to control each other and abuse each other and plunder each other, but cooperate together. They're working to not anyone is in power. Not one country, not one style of governance, not one economy is in power. All of them share power, and this is the feminine way of doing things. Not power over, which is the rational minds, but power with. That's the feminine way. Yeah. So again, it's very important to understand that when the soul gives you this information to share, you have to put away all your agendas, all your wishes, all your programming, a lot of your bitterness that you might hold towards, especially politics. It's difficult for me to share with you the messages that I receive regarding the global affairs of politics, because the topic is so loaded, especially in the West, because West has been a dominant power for so long, and it doesn't see anyone else's needs or anyone else's sovereignty as something that they need to take into account. It's like I said, it's been nearly 500 years of dominance. So this is all coming to an end. But the big message that I received, like I said, about 2 or 3 weeks before the US elections, is that the World War III is about to come to an end. And like I said, we are seeing for the first time in 3 years, diplomatic communication is being restored between US and Russia. You know, US and Russia have been friends before, very, very close friends. During your civil war in the US, Russia helped you out. You have to look into all these things. It's not it's all this nonsense about hating other people because you're told, you're programmed to hate other people. It's complete nonsense. You've never been, there has been really close relationships between Russia and US in the past. So it's really good to see that finally this is maybe being resolved, and we're seeing the first steps of trying to end this terrible war in Ukraine, so that the people that have made the choices, the Russians living in the east of Ukraine, are free to make their choice whether they want to be part of the West or they want to go back and be part of Russia, which they are. They are Russian people. They are not Anglo-Saxons. They are Russians. They are Slavs. This is their home, and this is what they want to do. They want to be part of the homeland. So this is really important to understand. So I'm glad to see that, you know, even though that, you know, this talk about ceasefire and all this is probably going to evaporate over time, but but the first steps, tentative steps of talking to each other. We have to talk to each other. That's also a very feminine thing. It's the feminine builds relationships. The masculine divides relationships. It only sees its own way and disregards the point of view of the other. That's the way the intellect works. It always must have an enemy. It projects its own dividedness onto an enemy. The feminine is not like that. It's everything is in unity. It's all one. It's underneath all these divisions. There's just single humanity, single life, single mystery that is embodying itself in ever new, unique ways. Like I shared with you last time in my video, the dream of where I was shown again the unity of all of existence, of all life. So how can you go and say that this and that country or that people, you know, they're not like you, they're not you, that they are your enemy? How can you even begin to say there's people that are, I'm talking about this over and over, there are people that are going around, especially on social media, loving like this and loving like that, compassion, and then the first opportunity that they get to start to jump up and down and declare the other people, their enemy and evil, they take that opportunity. It just shows your own dividedness. Shows that you haven't got the message that underneath all this there is the feminine way is the unity of all life, whether you like it or not. Yeah. So this is really what I wanted to share with you today. To be a shorter video, because I'm seeing that the first steps of perhaps the world slowly coming out of this terrible 500 years that we lived under dominance of just one people, one culture, one financial system, one economic system, one power that dominates all the others by looting the others. So that's important. So that is coming to an end. The BRICS is coming into reality in a very, very strong way. The power with, not power over. And we're seeing the first tentative steps of ending this terrible war in Ukraine. It's not a war between Ukraine and Russia. Ukrainians and Russians are the same people. It's a war that has been waged by the West on Russia. And it's not the first time. It happened many times in history. The history repeats itself when we don't learn lessons, and it's repeating itself again. And if we look at the history, what happened before, it's going to happen this time again. The West will get a bloody nose, will lose and will retreat, regroup, and 80 years later again they're gonna try. Hopefully not this time, because the world is organizing itself in a new way where the West doesn't dominate everyone. Everyone gets an opportunity to be equal in this new world economy, BRICS, yeah? So anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.